So the first thing you want to do before you start your install is lay out your tools and all your parts and pieces. Make sure that you have everything that you need to complete the install. The first thing that's included in the kit are the two large Watersport trim tabs. The second thing you're going to notice are the actuators. These are Lenco actuators with a 2.25-inch stroke. You also have your switch kit here included. Next, you're going to look over here and you have an upper mounting bracket for the actuator. You have a gland seal. You have the bolt for the upper mounting bracket, and you have 3 screws to attach the upper mounting bracket. Over here you can have 4 hinges included in the kit, and each hinge needs 3 of these 3/4-inch screws to attach to the plate. 3-inch bolt, which is going to go through the upper brackets on the plate. And then down here you're going to have 3 more screws and 1 large bolt. These are for attaching the hinge to the back of the boat. Now, I highly recommend using the through bolt and the washer to go through the hole and bolt onto the back side. If that's not possible, if you have no access behind the transom wall, what you're going to want to do is use 3M marine adhesive sealant and screws. That will hold it, that's sufficient to hold it, but I personally prefer to use the through bolt, so that's going to be included in the kit. Lastly, for the actuators, you have a couple different connectors. The stock connectors on the actuator look like this. Those plugs will go directly into the Deutsch connectors. If you are using one of the Lenco or Bennett upgrades, you're going to need these. Now, if you're using our stock connector, you're actually going to use the wire crimp to connect directly to the wires. Okay, so that is everything that is included in the stock kit and what to expect when you're going to install. Okay, now the tools that you're going to need for the install. First of all, you're going to need a power drill. It's good to have an attachment, which is a 1/2-inch attachment for large bolts. You're going to need a 7/16-inch wrench, a screwdriver head, a tape measure, a box cutter, a Phillips screwdriver, some blue painter's tape, electrical tape, clear RTV silicone. And as we mentioned, if you are not able to bolt through the back of the transom, you will need 3M marine sealant adhesive. And you're also going to need a drill bit set. So once you have all your tools collected, you're ready to go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to measure up from the bottom of the hole and make a mark at 3/4 of an inch. Make another mark, 3/4 of an inch. We're going to come back here, make another mark, 3/4 of an inch. Now, we've made our marks. I'm going to use my straight edge ruler and draw a line based on those marks. Back and just double check. Yep, we are right where we want to be. Okay, our next mark that we're going to make is at 1 7/8 inches. Because as I mentioned, it's 1 1/8 inches from the bottom of the hole. So you can either measure off of this line, 1 1/8.
Let's do that. Okay. We're going to use a ruler. Draw another straight line. Okay. Come back on this side, draw another straight line.
Now, on the other side, we measured off of the platform 4 inches to the first hole. Okay, so 4 inches right there. And we're going to drill 1 hole first. Makes it very simple to do. The first thing we're going to do is take a 3/8 inch bit. We're going to put it in reverse. Okay, just barely want to go through the gel coat until you're seeing white. Then you're going to take your 7/32 inch drill bit and drill all the way through. Able to get the install video done, so I'm doing it by myself. Take my drill. Maybe from there we can see the line right through the center of the hinges. We're going to put our 7/32 inch drill bit back into the impact driver. We're going to look through right at the hole and just mark it. Right on the line. Remove the plate. Going to take my 3/8 inch drill bit and gently
Pre-drill these to mark holes.
okay. I put my 7/32 back in, I drill all the way through.
Holding up to the first hole I drilled. There, I got one in. Okay, got 2 in. Put the other screws in.
Okay, so we check our alignment really close, straight off the line. We have good clearance here above the bottom of the hole. We have our angle we want. Check clearances. Again, we're missing the, we're not going to be colliding with the platform bracket. Lines right up in the middle of that. Great. So, the next thing that we learned on the other side, so we can draw a straight line out from our hinge. We're also going to draw a straight line across from the top of the hinge. So this is the basic box that we're going to want to be in. Now, the next thing we learned is we want to go 5 inches up from the plate. What that's going to give us is the location of the upper mounting bracket. So once we have this inside of our box.
Now, the first place we're going to mount this is through the bottom, and we're going to shoot for the center hole on the top row. So you get a good spot, or the second to last hole on the bottom row. And mount on there. Now, check our alignment with the actuator.
And mount that through. Now, one thing to keep in mind as you look at this, you want to come with the bolt from the opposite side of the platform bracket, otherwise you're not going to be able to get it off.
Now, that mount, so we have a deployment of approximately.
Well, I don't have the angle on that, but we can see from the side. We're going to hold it right there. Now, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to hook my battery up, and I am going to retract this. So, put the negative on that side of the battery, and the positive right there. And then come up, see approximately the angle where we're at, and looks like everything we did on the other side lines right up. So I'm going to go ahead and drill these holes and mount that bracket. To mark a hole.
There's 7:30 seconds since you drilled it.
Now in the center one, for the wire, you're actually going to go with 3/8. Again, start in reverse.
Simply line this up.
Okay, so I got that in now. Now I'm going to test this again by retracting the actuator. Okay, now something interesting as we look at this is you can actually see that this has come in contact with the platform bracket. So what we're going to do is we're going to deploy it and we're going to change holes. I'll show you how to do that. Now I'm actually going to take this out. I'm going to try another hole. I'm going to go to an upper level, which will deploy the bracket, deploy the tab slightly further, and retract slightly less. Okay, so we switched the hole. You can now see that there's plenty of clearance there between the swim platform bracket and the tab. Again, we're going to deploy that and see how it looks. Okay, great. So we can see the angle of deployment on the tab itself. We have plenty of wave making and wave shaping capability right there. So looks like a great install. What we need to do now is remove the tape and silicone everything up, and we'll be all done.